Hello everyone, I'm Deb Courtney. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So glad you're here today. Today I want to talk about the joy of vitality and wellness. I want to give you some pointers that I have written down in my notes a long time ago in regards to this and what I came away with it and what I've learned over the years that has to do with vitality and wellness. Now, I want to preface this by saying your vitality and wellness may be totally different than what my vitality and wellness has looked like in my lifetime, and that's completely okay. So here, let's go. Wellness is the basis for consistent creation. It means that you're consistently creating, it means you're going forward. You're active. So it is a consistent creation. It's consistent in attraction and being consistent in love. Getting well and raising your standards of what wellness means to you. See, like I said a while ago, your definition and my definition may be two totally different things in regards to your dedication of being your best. So here we go. What I know when experience wellness, this is me personally, is that I am active and I have plenty of energy. Now, it takes me being active to get the energy because I have found out, and you probably have too, if you've lived any length of time on the face of this earth, that if you are, if you're laying on the couch and you're on the bed, and there's things that you need to take those times out to rest. But it seems like to me, the more I want to have downtime or I don't want to get up and do something. I have to sometimes talk to myself and say, now listen, you're going to get up and you're going to do ABC 1, 2, 3. And we have to do that sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. So in me experiencing the wellness of the way I look at it, that what works for myself and my body and my life is I have to be active. The second thing that I have to do and experience wellness is I have to be emotionally and physically available to others. And sometimes, talking about emotionally, sometimes somebody will want to discuss maybe a topic with me, something that they're going through. I always preface any discussion that I get into with anyone with this. I'm going to ask you some curiosity questions, discovery questions. Don't answer them. They're not for me to know the answers. But the reason I'm asking questions is for you to think maybe about it this way, look at it that way. And so they say, okay, Deborah, I understand. So then we start the conversation. So if I stay in that exploration and discovery mode, it's really not for me, of course. It's not for me. But it's for the other person to see if there's anything that they could look at differently, if there's any way that they could handle it differently, if there's anyone that they could bring into the circumstances that can help them. That's emotional. And vice versa with me too. When I go to someone and want to ask them about something, I say, okay, I want to come to you with discovery and exploration questions. This is what I'm experiencing. I tell them what I'm experiencing, and then we go from there and we go backwards and forth and we do the dance as far as questioning and answering thoughts, ideas, suggestions, things of that nature that can help me. Something that I may have not even thought about, they brought it up, or something a way I could look at it at a different angle or a different way. So you never know, okay? That's being emotional and physically available to others. Sometimes helping people do things that they need help with. Do for the reason maybe there's just one person, they need helping with something, or maybe it's an elderly person that needs to get something off a shelf they can't reach. Just being present in that's experiencing wellness for me. I had a lady, I helped her in the store the other day. This package was too heavy for her to pull off. It was a case of water she was trying to buy. And I said, let me help you with that. So that helped me. It was a good, that lifted, she definitely liked the help, and I definitely enjoyed doing it for her. What I have found out, the third thing in experiencing wellness is being attractive, and I don't mean this so much by looks or anything. I'm just talking about being an attractive human being, because we are responsible, be responsible, and I can share my energy. And that's kind of what I like to do. When I walk in a room, first thing I like to do is see if I can put a smile on somebody's face. And I get that accomplished 99.9% of the time, simply because I want to be intentional in letting them know that I see you, I'm glad you're here, and that's it. And when I do that, then they say, well, it's good to see you too, Deb. And they smile, because I've said, well, hey, man, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here too, So that kind of attraction like that. When experiencing wellness, I have found out I want to be able to enjoy more of what I'm doing and feeling good about it. And like I said, in order to have this, it does not automatically fall out of the sky and land in your lap. This is something that you have to be intentional about. Otherwise, it won't take place. Now, some things, yeah, it's happenstance and they happen and you're happy about it. But it takes something that happenstance to make that happen. But to do these things, these little 4 things that I just mentioned, in order to experience that, it is intentional. Okay, I found out, I have 4 things that I found out until I have experienced the wellness that I want in my life and how that's going to look like. I found out that sometimes I have a tired and lackluster life, because I have to be intentional on being active and showing up and being available for people. I have found out because I didn't always have this, okay? So I was toxic to others. I was just consuming space and toxic to others. I didn't like that. And I was not creating or expressing myself fully. And so, when I used to get mad, this was like in my early 20s, you knew I was mad, because I just got all puffed up like a bullfrog and walked around 3 weeks and I'm mad. Well, didn't nobody care? They didn't care at all. Okay, so I had to intentionally find out a way to get away from being toxic, to get away from having a tired, lackluster life, and how to find a way to express myself that gave energy to people, and people wanted to be around me. And like I said, it's intentional. So I got 10 steps that I've written down. Here we go. For vitality and wellness, and let's see if any of these work for you. Okay. The first one is develop a healthy morning routine instead of rushing around. That's going to look different from you than it did for me, but that's what I did. And usually I start out my morning routine with quiet time. I read Sarah Young, Jesus Calling. I read Scripture. And so I am intentional about that. That's how my morning routine starts out. The second one is start using food for substance and not pleasure or reward. Now, that's not to say that you can't go to somebody's birthday party and have a piece of birthday cake. You can do that. And you know what? And I look at that as a pleasure and reward sometimes. Or, the holidays, when those come around. You know what? If there's a pumpkin pie hanging around, or a pecan pie, or a chocolate meringue pie, or some kind of cake that I like, if it's there, guess what? Deb Courtney is going to get her a piece of it. So, but usually I use my food. I don't live to eat. What I'm talking about. I eat. I don't. What is it? I eat to live. Yeah. I don't live to eat. I eat to live. Okay, the third one is shift your day to be like you're on vacation. And you say, oh my gosh, how can I do that? Well, it's going to be intentional. And only you know how you act when you're on vacation. But even in the midst of getting the kids ready to go to school, or even in the midst of getting yourself ready, it's your thoughts your thought life that matters and how you look at that. And, you can say, oh gosh, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. Or you can say, oh wow, I get to go to work tomorrow, because I can tell you what I know right now. If that job was not available for you tomorrow, you wouldn't be in no good shape at all. You would be sad. Okay? Because it's your livelihood to a certain degree. It's not all of it, but it is to a certain degree. You've got bills. We all have bills to pay, things we got to do, places we got to go, people we got to see. So yeah, but you can shift your mindset, and you can do it half a day. You don't have to do it all day, but you can do it a half a day or a quarter of a day. Okay, but that only you know what that looks like to you. And so there's nothing wrong with daydreaming about where you would like to be. And sometimes we have to use that technique to even get us through the day. So you can do that. You can incorporate that. Identify and stop all behaviors that cost you wellness. You know what that is. You know what that is to your life. I know what it looks like in my life. So begin to do that. You have to intentionally identify and stop all behaviors that cost you your wellness. There are some things that I did was not good for me. I stopped them. I couldn't go on anymore like that. I couldn't do those things anymore. And you know what that is. I know what that is. And so just work through it. Move your body aerobically several times a week. I do this. It helps me. It gives me energy. It keeps me active, and it works for me. Now you may be in a situation that you cannot aerobically move your body several times a week. Okay, if that's not doable for you, then find out what is doable for you. It may be through physical limitations that's not doable for you, but find out from a person. And there's you can ask that question to plenty of people that will give you the answer and help you with that mobility and things of that nature. Okay? Get all parts of your body fixed that are broken or blocked. Now, I didn't have any, I'm not talking about a broken leg or a broken arm, things of that nature. But there are parts of our body, our mind, our thought life, and that's kind of that was the biggest one for me, because it all starts in your mind. The battle is fought in the mind. So if that is broken or blocked, then find out what steps you need to take in order to get that taken care of, and go do it. That's what you have to do. You have to implement it and go do it, just like I did. And so that's kind of that was number one for me. Communicate until you feel clear about what you're doing. Sometimes you have to talk things through with other people. If you've got a spouse, if you've got a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, a good friend with a relationship with a good friend, get clarity on what vitality and your wellness would look like for you. And do it intently. Otherwise, it will not get done. You'll be just floundering around. Develop a reserve of energy, however that looks like for you. Sometimes we wake up tired because we've had a big day. However, and usually I wake up tired some mornings, generally because I had a big day working out the day before at the gym. So I have to intentionally talk to myself and say, okay, girl, it's just time to get up. You got to go get this. You got to go get this done. And I don't mind telling you, I talk to myself a lot in order to do sometimes the things that I need to do and have to get done. And when I do that, then I find when I get up and I made up my mind, I'm getting up to go do this, then I find the energy, and I felt, you know what, I had the energy to get this done. And sometimes I go above and beyond what I really was, going to do. Like, well, okay, since I finished what I was going to do, okay, well, let me go over here and I'll see what else I can do. And I go do that. And then the next thing you know, you've done a whole bunch of stuff in one day that when you first started out, you didn't think you had the energy to get her done. But you went and got it done. You got above and beyond more than what you wanted to get done. And you feel good about yourself and, I got all that done today. Wow. I didn't know I had the energy. Have you ever had those kind of conversations? Yep. I'm sure some of you have. Okay. Discover and saturate yourself with what nurtures you. Okay. That looks different for everybody. What is it that nurtures you? Is it a relationship with an individual? Is it taking spa time for yourself? Me time? Do you set aside a certain amount of time that's basically for me? And you have set boundaries with people that with other toxic people maybe, you're not, this is as far as you're going. You can't go no farther than this. This is me time. This is my time. You have to do those things in order to nurture yourself with vitality and wellness and what works for you. And then, of course, clean up your environment. Clean up every space from clutter. I have noticed in my own life that when my house is clean and I don't have clutter, now I do have one place that I do allow a little clutter, and that's in my closet, but not a whole lot. Every other room is kind of fixed. This may be something where Deb, I got 3 boys. I've got a husband, I've got this, I've got 2 dogs, I've got whatever you've got in your house that is, that's clutter. And I get it. I get it. There's nothing wrong with clutter. It is just taking that, finding out different ways that you can implement clarity in your environment, in your space, in your house, in your surroundings, where you spend a lot of time at. I'm not talking, and you know what? And I've seen a lot of people that keep their desk clutter free. They're cluttery when they're working, but when they get done, they straighten everything up, and they check out, going home, and they were there, they worked, but they didn't leave a whole lot of stuff on the floor, stuff strewn here and there and everything. And you have to be intentional about that, because a lot of days you don't feel like getting up clutter. You don't have the vitality that you want to, start in cleaning up toys and whatever it is. Big thing of laundry. So these are things that you have to really be intentional about, your own vitality and your own wellness, because I know this. If you're not, no one else will do it for you. If you're not intentional on your own vitality and wellness, nobody will see that you get it done. This is something that you do for yourself first and foremost. And when you take care of yourself first and foremost, you're able to take care of everything else and everybody else. You will find the energy, you will find the time, you will find the motivation, you will find the tools and the techniques for the clutter and everything else that will keep you to have the joy and enjoy the joy of having vitality and wellness in your life. If you like this video, please give it. I know it was long. I try not to go this long, but it is very important, our vitality and wellness, to each and every one of us, everybody on the face of this planet, to have that, find out what it looks like, to go for it and receive it. So glad you found me. I'm glad I found you. Go out and make it a great day, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.